Well, it seems the case for Biden 2024 is weaker today than it was immediately after the first presidential debate. Joe Biden's candidacy is under question as the first Senate Democrat, Peter Welch of Vermont, and a ninth House Democrat publicly called for Joe Biden to end his campaign. Now, actor George Clooney, a longtime fundraiser for the Democratic Party, has also called for a new nominee to replace Joe Biden. Voters appear similarly unnerved. In multiple polls, I must mention, upward of 70% of Americans say Biden is not fit for a second term, and Trump's lead over the president has grown both nationally and in battleground states, despite the fact that Biden is drastically outspending his opponent on TV ads, an advantage that will soon disappear as the Republican begins tapping his own formidable campaign funds. Now, in light of all of this, the president's diehard supporters have been forced to lean on a variety of unsound arguments for his candidacy.
To the president to decide if he is going to run. We're all encouraging him to make that decision because time is running short. I think overwhelming support of the caucus. It's not for me to say. I'm not the head of the caucus anymore. But he's beloved. He is respected, and people want him to make that decision.
He wants to see the economy crash this year.
He stumbled, he stammered, he even stunned. And with a few months to November, he's playing straight into Democrats' worst fears, that he's fumbling away this election to Donald Trump.
Guess what? They're trying to push me out of the race. Well, let me say this as clearly as I can. I'm staying in the race. I'll beat Donald Trump. I will beat him again in 2020.
Concerns that Biden might be suffering from an undisclosed illness have risen since he stumbled, appearing frail and losing his train of thought at times.
Let us stand together. Oh, at the cross, where I first saw the light, and the burdens of my heart rolled away. It was there by faith I received my sight, and now I am happy.
Joe Biden's candidacy is under question as the first Senate Democrat, Peter Welch of Vermont, and a ninth House Democrat publicly called for Biden to end his campaign. Actor George Clooney, a longtime fundraiser for the Democratic Party, has also now called for a new nominee to replace Biden and revealed the president he saw at a fundraiser in June was the same man we all witnessed at the debate. Many analysts point out that his gaffe streak has put his presidential candidature on the line, but the White House refuses to confirm or elaborate on a Parkinson's disease specialist's visits to the White House.
There's been a lot of speculation. What's Joe going to do? Is he going to stay in the race? Is he going to drop out? What's he going to do?
It is. You're
Dr.
asking
Kevin
me.
Kennard, come
I
to the
cannot.
White House.
But I just. And I also said to you,
conditions.
Ed. I also said to you, for security reasons, we cannot share names. We cannot share names.
You cannot
We
share
have to.
names
We have
of
to.
others he would have met with.
We
but
cannot.
You can share names in regards to if someone came here in regards to the president.
We cannot share names of specialists broadly, from a dermatologist to a neurologist. We cannot share names. There are security reasons. We have to protect.
But US President Joe Biden is not being treated for Parkinson's disease and has not seen a neurologist outside of his annual physicals, the White House said, after the New York Times reported that visitor logs showed a doctor specializing in the illness visited the White House at least 8 times from August through March.
Well, I can tell you this, just going back to Parkinson's for a little bit, so to give you some answers here. Has the president been treated for Parkinson's? No. Is he being treated for Parkinson's? No, he's not. Is he taking medication for Parkinson's? No. So those are the things that I can give you full-blown answers on, But I'm not going to confirm a specialist, any specialist that comes to the White House out of privacy.
Biden is battling criticism from some Democrats that he lacks the mental acuity to stand as the nominee against Trump in the November 5th presidential election. Biden has, however, said he will not abandon his campaign, asserting that he is not going anywhere.
In my experience, the last 2.5 years, I have not seen any reason whatsoever to question or doubt his lucidity, his grasp of context, his probing nature, and the degree to which he is completely in charge of facts and figures.
You got me, man. I'm not going anywhere. All right.
Publicly, Democratic officials continue to largely rally around Biden and argue that a lackluster debate performance doesn't determine the election. But privately, party insiders report that the whispers about Biden being too old have crescendoed. Analysts warn that one should expect the speculation about replacing Biden at the top of the ticket to grow to a fever pitch, loud enough that Biden will surely hear it and consider it in the Oval Office. Parmeshwar Bava for NDTV. Well, as Democratic lawmakers face competing arguments about whether Mr. Biden should be the party's nominee, for a quick comment on the current state of affairs, we have with us former U.S. Assistant Secretary of Commerce, Raymond Vickery. Always a pleasure to see you on air, Mr. Vickery. Straight up, is Joe Biden physically and mentally fit to lead the United States and the Democratic Party? Is he the right choice to be running for the post of the President of the United States?
Well, thanks very much for having me. I think there's no question that people were concerned about the president's failure to correct the stream of lies at the debate that came from Donald Trump. The real question here, of course, is can he do the job? Joe Biden has never been a terrific orator. He's overcome stammering as a young man. And his ability to analyze things and to stick to his job has been the high point of his presidency. He's been very much involved today and yesterday with NATO. The chief job of the president, of course, is to try to build peace and stability throughout the world. And all indications are that he's done a very good job. Tomorrow he will have an open press conference. You can bet that the press will be after him in the United States with everything they have. And I expect that he'll do well, just as he did in terms of the State of the Union message. So the question is he electable? Yes. Is he behind in the polls? Yes. But I can tell you, having been in politics for a long time, that 4 months is an eternity in politics, and there is a long way to go. But the basic answer is yes, he can do the job. The question is, who's going to be best to save the United States from Trump?
Well, let's hope that the next 4 months have better things in store for Joe Biden and his team. Thank you so much, as always, Raymond Vickery, for joining us on The World 24/7.